Hello, baby. Clarence? I'm a married man, buddy. She the sweetest thing you ever saw in your whole life. She seems very nice.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Waffle Press Retrospectives, Season 2 of the failed Blockbusters. I'm your host, Diego Crespo. With me today is my co-host, Matt Garingo.
Hey!
How are you, Matt?
I'm good. How are you, Diego?
Oh, I'm good because we're going to talk about Tony Scott's True Romance, the 1993 American romantic crime film directed by Tony Scott and written by Quentin Tarantino.
I mean, I guess it's technically all those things.
It's definitely in the ballpark of them. I don't know, like, rewatching it, like, as I've gotten older, I definitely see it, like, playing up the crime romance angle. I mean, obviously, like, crime, that's, like, Tarantino's thing at the time, but, like, almost, like, the dangerous elements of, like, blind romance, you know? Like, it's all there. It's been there the whole time, but it's like, I used to just think it was like a fun romp, you know? And like, it definitely is. Spoiler alert, it's a Tony Scott movie, so I like it. But I don't know, it's got a lot of stuff going on, and it's really exciting, and it's just visually stunning. Who shot it? Jeffrey L. Kimball, who did a couple things for Tony Scott, and would also go on to shoot stuff like Mission Impossible 2.
Oh,
Star Trek Nemesis?
Yes, Star Trek Nemesis.
The BVS of the Star Trek franchise.
Are we really going to call it that?
I have to give it to my buddy Mike Schindler for saying that.
But like, is that the worst Star Trek movie?
No.
What's the worst?
My brain just like fried.
All right, let's go through the bad ones, right?
Okay.
Like the ones that like pretty much everyone is in agreement that they are bad. So it's Final Frontier from the original series.
That's probably it.
Generations.
No, never mind. Generations is my least favorite.
Insurrection.
Not awful.
Nemesis.
Interesting.
And Into Darkness.
Very directed.
That's the thing.
I still stand by like the action of that movie. It's just like the material drops off so fucking hard.
Yeah,
fast.
it's possibly the worst written blockbuster of that decade.
No. It's a stinker. It's not the worst.
There are bad ones, but at least they're like there was never a chance for them to be good. Like there was a chance for Into Darkness to be a good movie.
And maybe it was just like what makes Into Darkness like such like a painful experience, I guess, is that after Star Trek 09 and Super 8, I think people were like, wait, this JJ guy, like, let's see what he's got in the tank. Let's see what he can do.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Story. Yeah, let's see him build off his original take on this material. And there was like, oh, there is no take. There's no originality.
Yeah.
I'd say probably Generations is my least favorite. I really don't care for that movie.
For me, it's like neck and neck with Generations and Nemesis.
Yeah. And I'll say Insurrection, it's just kind of dull.
It's just boring.
That's the big crime of that one.
Yeah. And
everything works. It's just, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say everything works, but it's...
Okay, well, most things work in it. It's just a little dull.
I think it's that one where it's like, of the Next Generation movies, at least it's the one where like everyone isn't miserable the whole time. Like,
yeah. Let me think. I know people like this movie. I don't care for Search for Spock that much.
Search for Spock's okay. It's not like it's definitely not a good movie. Like it's kind of like a written by committee movie, you know.
Yeah.
But it, you know, you got a fucking what's his fuck? Christopher Lloyd as the Klingon is pretty great in that.
Yeah, and it's got good stuff in it. It's just like it only exists to bring back Spock, and it's like hard for me to divorce that now. Mm-hmm. I guess. And smack between Wrath of Khan and The Voyage Home, which are excellent films, it just makes it look worse. And yes, that also means The Final Frontier looks worse. I might like The Final Frontier more than Search for Spock, though.
I definitely... Final Frontier is kind of insulting to everyone involved. Like
It is, but it's not insulting to me, so I can live with it.
I'm totally fine with Search for Spock. I think Search for Spock functions as a movie. It is kind of like, okay, I guess Spock is back, right?
Yeah. I mean, Final Frontier also is bad. Don't get me wrong.
Where it's like, I just don't know what the fuck I'm even supposed to be enjoying in The Final Frontier.
But you know what? The Final Frontier also has this great line of dialogue that I don't get to quote enough.
What does God want with a starship?
Yeah, you knew exactly it. Yeah, that's the best thing ever.
That's like the one... Well, here's the thing. Like, the Star Trek crew meeting God is like the one good idea in that movie. And,
yeah. And the camp scene at the opening.
No.
You don't like the camping
I
scene?
do not like the camping scene.
It's just guys being dudes.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Also, they fucking treat Scotty like shit in that movie.
They do. Well,
that's why...
I mean, not Leonard Nimoy. God bless Leonard Nimoy. William Shatner is just a fucking piece of shit.
That's why, hot take, The Undiscovered Country is my favorite.
That's not a hot take. Undiscovered Country fucking rocks.
Yeah, but I think people are like, Wrath of Khan... Like, Wrath of Khan's definitely a better movie, right?
I don't know about definitely. I prefer it, but like, no. This is the True Romance podcast. But listen, everyone.
We're talking about Star Trek. Shut the fuck up.
The Undiscovered Country fucking kicks ass.
It kicks ass, but Wrath of Khan is the one you can show to anyone, right? Yeah. And you watch it now and you're like, fuck, this movie just works. Like, Wrath of Khan is just kind of great. Voyage Home, I think, is the one that like nerds pick, you know? Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, Voyage Home, that's the one that's really great because it's such a character-focused Star Trek story. And I love Voyage Home. I'm not going to disagree. At Undiscovered Country, I think people maybe have mixed feelings on a little bit.
If you have mixed feelings on that movie, it's because you're a fucking nerd.
I don't know. It's a little... it's like, okay, I guess this is how it's going to end. Like, it's... I could see some people getting... But I love it because Scotty fucking... At the end of that movie, Scotty busts down the door like he's the fucking Kool-Aid man and shoots the guy. Which is the best way to end that fucking movie.
Maybe. Now, is it better than the motion picture?
Look, I like the motion picture in theory.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah, I don't like the look of the motion picture.
Oh, no, I think it's great.
I think all the costumes look terrible, and it's so flat. I love Robert Wise, too, is the thing. Like... I'm probably, like, I'd go to bat for Robert Wise. I don't hate it. I think it's good. And I have not seen the extended cut, which I've heard is better. But it is a very, like, odd little movie. But, I don't know, man. I just don't like the look of it that much.
Well, maybe the new 4K will solve your problems.
Maybe.
They kind of tinkered with the look of it a little bit. Some for the better, some for the worse.
The effects look great.
The effects look terrific. They're a little bit at odds with the surrounding images.
Yeah.
So I'll see how I feel about that eventually.
Great poster.
Oh, it's the fucking shit. The fact that they reused that image for Beyond, basically, made me very happy.
And I like the story. It's a
for the
really
50th anniversary.
It's a really good plot. I like the story for motion picture. Mm-hmm. It's a really good, like, it's a genuine science fiction plot, which they just don't really do those anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, Robert Wise is the perfect guy to do that. It's fine. It's not... I'm just not someone who, like, goes to bat for it like others.
Now...
But I think to call it bad is idiotic.
I agree. Now, are any of those movies better than True Romance? Maybe, like, two of them, but... Maybe.
Does True Romance have Scotty killing the bad guy?
No, but it has Patricia Arquette fucking murdering the shit out of Tony Soprano.
Yeah, that's a wild scene. I put this
That's
movie
a little
on.
Intense.
I put this movie on for a friend and totally forgot that scene happened in it.
Yeah, there's like some fucked up energy in that scene.
Yeah, so it's a wild. The energy of this whole movie is really fucked up.
Yeah, because it's like it plays like their love, there's this air of innocence about it, but like what they get caught up in is like so not. Mm-hmm. Who hasn't seen True Romance here? Raise your hand.
Go watch
you listener, go watch it.
Make sure it's the director's cut. Make sure it's the director's cut. Because the theatrical cut changes a few things that I am not a fan of.
Well, there's a couple changes like throughout production too that I'm sure we will talk about.
You might know more about that than I do, but
okay.
Yes,
but True Romance. It's a film about Christian Slater.
Christian Slater plays
Arquette.
Christian Slater plays Quentin Tarantino.
Yes,
as he goes on his white boy hero revenge fantasy.
Yes, that is ultimately what.
That's 100% what this movie is.
And you know what? I know a lot of people are turned off by that. It is totally just a fucking like privileged fantasy bullshit thing.
That's why Tony Scott was the perfect person to direct it.
Yes, because he understands the incredibly fucked up like visceral mindset you have to be in to even conjure something like that.
Have you listened to the commentary track from Quentin Tarantino for this movie?
I have not.
It's a fascinating listen.
Is it?
It really is. Because
bothersome?
It's more just like, okay, I'm glad you didn't direct this, Quentin. But Quentin can talk movies, unfortunately.
He can.
He's about to drop a podcast with his old friend Roger Avery, which is going to end the world. Like, Film Twitter, we're all just going to kill ourselves. Like, the takes are going to start coming and they won't stop coming. Like, it's going to be bad when that thing drops.
I'm looking forward to it.
I think we should all try to ignore it. And if we listen to it, don't talk about it. That's the only thing we can do if we want to survive. Because unfiltered Tarantino is something we don't want out there. We're about to get to know Tarantino a little more than we wanted to, and we already know more than we want to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't think there's any feet shot in this film, so that's how you know it's not him.
Yeah. I listened to the commentary a long time ago, but I remember one point in it where he was like, "Yeah, Tony brought this like interesting fairy tale quality to the story, which I didn't see in my script initially." And it's like, oh, you took this serious. And that's when you're like, oh, okay.
Which is why Tony Scott was a genius, you know?
And also, it 100% has the vibes of, like, the first script an angry white boy writes when he's a teenager, you know?
1,000,000,000%.
Yes.
So for those that don't know, this is actually Tarantino's first script. It was released after Reservoir Dogs, but it was made first. It was written first.
And it 100% has that vibe. That and Natural Born Killers both have that vibe.
Yeah. Fucking miracles that Oliver Stone and Tony Scott made these movies what they are. Yeah. You don't even have to like them, but I'm saying like it's a miracle for Tarantino that someone else made these films what they are. I think that's why they like stand up in pop culture.
Tarantino should fucking count his blessings, because I think if had he directed True Romance and Natural Born Killers, we wouldn't be talking about Tarantino the way we talk about Tarantino today.
No, yeah.
Like, it would have been a bad note to start on. And also, I think the other hallmark of it, I don't know if you know this isn't a spoiler for the movie. Well, it kind of is. But in the screenplay, Clarence dies at the end.
Yes, I was gonna say the ending was different,
which is the ultimate white boy fantasy.
Yeah,
it is the ultimate like, I am gonna be the hero. I'm gonna rescue this woman. I'm gonna kick everyone's ass, but then I'm gonna heroically die at the end. Like, heroically and tragically die at the end. Because that's what I am. I'm a hero in a tragedy. I probably wrote my own True Romance when I was like 13. So
I don't know if you can hear the truck backing up.
I absolutely can, but don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah. Well, they heard that bullshit and they're like, all right, we got to take out the trash from Tarantino's life.
I mean, think about the setup of this movie. right?
Yeah, no, he works in a comic book shop. He goes to the movies every year, which is a thing normal people do now, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Like, it's not you're not down in your luck like some loser who does that. Or maybe we are losers if we do that, but we're not this guy. You're not the hero of, like, this exploitation film.
The opening is him, right? The opening is him talking to another woman, not Alabama, about his love for Elvis Presley. Right? That's the opening. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not saying I'd fuck Elvis, but I'd fuck Elvis. And she gets, like, all turned off because he's weird. That feels like a conversation Quentin Tarantino really had with someone.
Yes.
Also, the patron saint of white heroes, Elvis Presley, who is the guardian angel of Clarence in this movie.
I know.
I mean, it's
Jesus Christ.
It's so, like, perfect in a way that, like, it really feels like Tarantino didn't see it. Like,
yeah, no, there's no way he saw it. I get the vibe he didn't see it without having heard the commentary. Mm-hmm. You know, like,
yeah, and
it's just so.
Then he meets Alabama. And she like ends up hanging out with him. They go to a kung fu movie together. They meet at the kung fu movie, right?
Yeah, she fake spills popcorn on him.
Yeah, well, we don't know she's faking at the start, right?
No.
I guess we assume we do. Then he takes her to the ultimate chick magnet hangout location, the comic book shop, and shows her all the comics. And then they have sex, and then she tearfully confesses that she's actually a call girl. She's a sex worker. And it was a birthday present from his boss, but she actually fell in love with him because of the kung fu movies and the comic books. And so they get married. I mean, what else can you take away from that? Mm-hmm. Like, is there literally anything else you can get from this? Like,
no, it is a pure fantasy. Now, the brilliance of Tony Scott was that he crafted that fantasy while still somewhat basing it in like at least in like a character authenticity that I'm willing to bet it's not there like on the page. I'm willing to bet it's just Tarantino having his fun. Mm-hmm. And you know like as a screenwriter, like whatever on the page. You got your weird shit. We all know he puts his weird shit in all of his movies. So long as he's not hurting anybody, which he has before, which we should be acknowledged.
Yeah, we should acknowledge that.
Yeah,
that's a whole other thing.
It is. Uh-huh. And again, this isn't a Tarantino movie through and through. It's just written by him, which of course no movie
I guess
without a script.
The only Tarantino movie we would do would be like Grindhouse.
Jackie Brown wasn't a bomb, huh?
The Jackie Brown, let me check. Because I would love Jackie Brown. Now, Jackie
Spoiler
Brown made
alert.
money.
Okay. I love Jackie Brown. So that
Jackie
actually
Brown,
kind of, yeah.
It's the hipster pick for favorite Tarantino movie.
But is it wrong?
I honestly couldn't get that mad.
Yeah.
Although I love Inglourious Bastards.
That's my number one. Yeah.
But I'm also, I don't know what it is, but the older I get, the more I like watching Nazis get tortured and murdered.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, every movie should be about killing Nazis right now.
I don't know what changed, but also might be the best theater going experience of my life was seeing Inglourious Bastards. I think I've talked about this.
Yeah.
Where the audience straight up cheered when the giant face appeared in the smoke and flames.
That's pretty fucking great.
Which
I would love to watch Inglourious Bastards with a crowd right now.
Yeah, same.
And be like, and then after the screening, be like, we should all get up too. I would never say anything.
He owns the New Beverly, right?
Yeah.
All right, my suggestion, Quentin, if you're listening, he's not, but if you're listening, make it your midnight movie every Sunday, Inglourious Bastards, until we get rid of the Nazis.
That's not the worst idea.
That'll be our meeting place. We can hang. We don't have to go every week, but we can hang out. Definitely hand out pamphlets afterwards.
Well, It's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
That's our white guy fantasy. Is beating up other white guys.
I think you guys need it right now, frankly. So.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Okay, so yeah, crazy white boy male fantasy. But how fucking good is Patricia Arquette in this?
Patricia Arquette is so good, and she's always kind of good. You know, like I'm sure she's been in something bad that I don't like, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Can you?
No, I'm looking right now. Oh, she was in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 like 5 years before
yeah,
this,
but
or 6 years
she's
before this.
good in it.
Oh no, she's terrific. I just wanted to shout out Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
All right,
I love Nightmare 3.
Talk it.
No,
Ed Wood.
Fucking...
She's in Holes. Remember her in Holes?
Oh my god, that's right. Yeah.
There's a movie that is way better than it has any right to be.
Yeah, that's one of those like movies that just totally fucking holds up. Oh, yeah. Little Nicky, sorry. She's good in Little Nicky.
She is. She does give like a fantastic performance in Little Nicky.
It's so fucking
which
bizarre.
Is wild. Yeah, I love Patricia Arquette. She kind of she's not popping up in as much stuff these days, unfortunately.
No. Oh, you know what? She was in Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think you got there.
I didn't because that show got like so awful.
Yeah. She's terrific in it.
Yeah.
She doesn't get enough to do, but she's terrific in it. And then Christian Slater. What do we think about Christian Slater?
He's good when he's good.
He's good when he's good. That's a good way of putting it.
What has he been in lately?
Mr. Robot.
Okay, yeah. People seem to like that. I have not watched Mr.
I have
Robot.
not watched it either. Oh, he was in We Can Be Heroes?
Oh, yes.
He has a little part in that?
Yeah. We could do a lot of Rodriguez movies.
I know.
God bless you, Rodriguez.
Yeah. He was Deadshot in one of those direct-to-video DC movies.
I mean, not a bad choice.
No.
He played Winston Churchill?
What?
Oh, in like a comedy film.
Oh, thank God.
All right. I was about to be like, the fuck? I was in Alone in the Dark, the Uwe Boll movie.
Oh, I saw that.
I've seen it too, yeah.
Yeah. It's just failed everything. It's not even failed Blockbuster.
Great poster. Alone in the Dark has a great poster.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Yeah.
Oh my god, in the year 2012, he's in like 10 movies.
He was in Walter Hill's Bullet to the Head. That's the last Walter Hill movie I like.
He did another one, right?
Yeah, I didn't like it, though.
He's got another one. He's got another one coming up with Christoph Waltz and Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a full-on Western, he said.
Why not? God, I hope Walter Hill comes back and just kicks ass.
I know. Rachel Brosnahan's in it, too. Mm-hmm. Miss Maisel, for everyone that doesn't know. She is remarkable. Mm-hmm. And she has openly said she wants to do more genre stuff, and she's just not getting it offered. So
okay.
People, get fucking on that shit.
How old is Walter Hill?
It's like 800 years old. Oh, he's 80. I'm not far off.
All right. Yeah, he's 80. Still gets a check every time a new Alien movie gets made.
Him and someone else, I think David Giler, did a treatment for Alien 5, but there's been like 20 different versions of that movie. Mm-hmm. So who fucking knows? Oh, Christian Slater has arrests and convictions.
Oh,
I did not know that.
Hope it's for like drugs, which is fine and cool.
Drunk driving, which isn't great.
Drunk driving is not the best.
No. He has had difficulties with substance abuse and later received treatment. At one time, he said, "Work is my hobby, staying sober is my job." Mm-hmm. And then, after living in recovery...
it looks like it has a few sexual harassment charges. Which might have been a product of the heavy drug use, but hey.
Yeah, I hope he cleaned himself up a little bit.
Has he been in any like big blockbusters lately?
No.
He feels like a guy who would pop up in like a Marvel movie, but as like a joke, like as like Stiltman or something. It'd be like,
yeah,
we got Christian Slater and we're gonna make him be Stiltman.
Oh, he's in an episode of The Office as himself. Do you know about this?
Oh no, I do not.
Yeah, so there's one arc of the show where they get bought out by a company named Saber, and they have to have the informational videos when they're like absorbing the company, and Christian Slater is the guy introducing the video, and it's like one of those videos that tells you like nothing. It's just like, isn't it so great working at this company? But it's Christian Slater, so everyone's like, oh yeah, I do kind of like it. He was also in Rick and Morty. In the worst episode of television I've ever seen.
Oh, hey.
That's not true, but it's really bad. I don't know if everyone knows that one. It's Vindicators 3, Return of the World Ender. It's making fun of, like, Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers, and he's, like, an alcoholic. There's, like, a riff on Iron Man, and it's just, like...
Man, what a hot take.
I know. Whoa, yeah, really.
Whoa, stand back, Dan Harmon.
Yeah. Hammer, meat, and nail.
Oh, my goodness.
Apparently, there's, like, recording of, like, Dan Harmon in behind-the-scenes footage where he's like, oh, it's going to be the worst episode we ever do. And it's like, yeah, it was, man. I never saw the show again after that. But, yeah, that's not true.
Never could get into Rick and Morty, honestly.
There's some episodes that I really liked and some I didn't, and I just never kept up with it.
I think
I don't regret it.
I started watching it, like, and then, like, the pickle Rick thing and then the Szechuan sauce thing, like, both happened, like, right in the middle of me starting watching it.
Oh.
And that was like, this isn't worth it. It might be good. It might be good.
Yeah.
I can't really judge.
No, and the Pickle Rick episode I really like. It's the episode right before that episode I was just complaining about.
No, okay.
And that's like the entire like relationship I have for the show. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is obnoxious. I hate it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't know, the Pickle Rick episode is about how like the character would rather wind up in like an action movie premise and change his like physical appearance rather than confronting his like own trauma and like emotional issues with his family. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, wow, this is like really emotionally honest stuff.
I know people who are really
and then the fans were just like, oh, Pickle Rick, yeah. And I was like, oh shit, no, I got it, I'm done.
Mm-hmm. But I know people who are like really into Rick and Morty who are like really cool and fine, like they're not,
Oh yeah, not everyone's a fucking weirdo.
I luckily haven't run into like any of the weirdo fans in real life. So, like I said, it could just be the way like where like if I say I'm like a Steven Universe fan, people look at me funny, and I'm like, no, I'm not one of those fans.
Yeah,
I just thought the show was good. So, whatever. Hey, let's talk about Drexel. Gary
I was
Oldman's.
wondering how we were gonna bring this up. I have questions.
So
many
questions. The movie specifically says he's a white guy who thinks he's black, right? Like not in a like mental way, he just in the way he behaves. Mm-hmm. Hey, did you ever see that Quentin Tarantino interview where he goes on? I don't know what it's called because I'm a white idiot. It's some sort of like. It's like I think it's like a hip hop show on Sirius or something like that, or like, at least they talk about it. It's with like, and it's like all black hosts, and Tarantino's on it. And suddenly, when Tarantino's in a room with 3 other black people, he has a very different voice, and it might be one of the most cringe things I have ever watched in my entire life.
Tarantino cringe? I don't know what you're referring to.
Tarantino cringe is at least like endearing in a lot of ways. That one kind of wasn't.
Oh, I bet. And
it's like he doesn't even know he's doing it either. It's that thing that Spike Lee always accuses Tarantino of. Like Tarantino wants to be a black guy, like, which is also. Hey, let's talk about this real quick. So when Bong Joon-ho won Best Director, right?
Yeah.
At the Oscars, they sent Spike Lee up there to announce who won. What would have happened if Tarantino won?
Maybe it would have been like when Will Smith won the Oscar after slapping Chris Rock.
I mean, it would have been a weird. There would have been a weird vibe.
Yeah.
It's just like who let that happen? Like I get it. Like Tarantino, no one thought he was gonna win, but that doesn't mean he wasn't going to.
Yeah.
Like, there was a slim but still possible chance.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even think about that until you said it right now.
Because when shit was like getting bad early in the pandemic, I rewatched that fucking Oscar speech like a dozen times.
Oh yeah, it's the last time any of us were happy.
Yeah, so like I've seen that clip so many times, and then it was like on the fifth watch, I'm like, wait a minute, like who let this happen? But yeah.
You know what I remember that no one talks about? There was not like beef, but there was something up with Samuel L. Jackson and Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Because that was when Spike Lee was openly like criticizing Tarantino, like you were saying. And then someone asked Samuel L. Jackson about it, and he was saying like, well, you know, like Spike Lee makes a lot of movies, and Tarantino's working really hard. He's making his own great movies. It's like, I'm paraphrasing. It's more. I'm sure there's more there, but I just remember this last bit sticking out in my mind a lot. And he's like, and Spike hasn't made one of those in a while. And I was like, fuck, that's your friend, dude.
Have they worked together again?
I don't know, but they seem very tight. At the Oscars that one year when he was up for Black Klansman.
Okay.
Yeah, because remember, like, Spike Lee, I think he won, like, screenplay or something. Or adapted screenplay, something.
Maybe Sam Jackson is just the one who can kind of, like, mediate things between those two.
Maybe. I feel like Sam Jackson can kind of say anything, you know?
Yeah, he is kind of that guy.
Like, we all just respect him too much. Or as much as he deserves. He's, like, one of the kings of acting, you know? So, like, cherish him while we have him. Because he's not a young man anymore,
yeah, and he's also the biggest Tarantino defender on the planet.
Yeah.
Of, like, anyone. And it is this thing of, like, he should have fucking 3 Oscars by now, all for Tarantino movies. Like, he's fucking great. And, I mean, you could argue 4, you know? Like, he's great in Pulp Fiction. He should have gotten a supporting actor. I think they gave it to Martin Landau that year. For Ed Wood, which is kind of like, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was on death's door for like 30 years.
Yeah. Jackie Brown, he should have won, right? Like, he should have won for Django Unchained. He should have won for fucking The Hateful Eight. Like, say what you will about those movies, but fucking, they get the best Sam Jackson performances. So, Sam Jackson's in this movie. Also,
yeah, I was gonna say
wild.
He's in it for one scene.
Yeah, and it's one of these movies where like everyone that's in one scene gets like their name in the opening credits.
And I always fucking forget like people like not Christopher, Dennis Hopper.
Yeah,
he's in 2 scenes. They're just long scenes.
Yes,
and like this movie also isn't that many scenes. Like I'm looking at the budget. And it feels huge, but then like looking back at it and like really looking at where like this movie takes place, like sure it's like a cross country movie, like it takes place in like Detroit and Los Angeles, but there's not like that many places they're going to. It's like some restaurants, some apartment rooms, some hotel rooms, some stores.
I think
a trailer.
I think the scene with Sam Jackson was supposed to be a longer scene. And I think in Tarantino's style, I think that is the opening of the screenplay. That it's like this meeting, and then you don't realize it turns bad. It plays a little bit more like the scene in Pulp Fiction when they go and like shake down those guys for the briefcase.
Yeah.
You know? I think that was initially what it was. Like, it was a long scene that you don't realize is going to end in violence. And Tony Scott rightfully decided, no, this has to be a movie about Clarence and Alabama. Yeah. And we're not going to pretend it's some true crime shit.
Wrong. That was not the opening of the screenplay. At least from the most recent draft available from... Oh, you know what? No, it's from August 1992. It's an early draft. And it does open... with the I'd fuck Elvis.
Okay, but is it the scene after that? It feels like it's a Tarantino move for that scene to play with no context earlier.
You know what? Yeah, after the Elvis scene, interior dingy hotel room day, title card, Motor City, sounds of the city flow, and through an open window, car horns, gunshots, and voices. Yeah, it's Drexel.
Yeah.
He says some words that no white person should ever say.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of that. And, you know, the criticism about Tarantino for doing that. Maybe someone talked to him about that.
Hey,
you know,
He's only going to make one more movie. Let's just to let him make it and then leave him alone.
Just nonstop slurs.
Give him that's the title. The 10th film by Quentin Tarantino.
No.
Just nonstop slurs.
His final motion picture.
The final
Grindhouse voice and everything.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh boy. All right. So Drexel. Let's go back to that guy.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman is fucking committing on a level that maybe no white person should ever.
There are like at least a dozen Gary Oldman performances where you watch the movie, get to the end credits, and then you go, "That was Gary Oldman."
Yeah.
And this is one of them.
Have you seen the Tony Scott short he did for like BMW or whoever?
Yes.
Yeah, where he plays Satan.
Yes.
It is unbelievable.
Wild shit.
It is so good. I'll link it into this episode's description.
Well, here's the thing. All right, so let's just talk about Drexel. So, like, here's the thing. We're talking about, like, Drexel is what he, you know, we're two fucking lefty losers. We're talking about, like, what he's saying is wrong and his character's fucked up. But he is the bad guy. He's not framed in the right in any of this.
Yeah, of course.
But it is weird when you consider, like, Tarantino's whole thing. That Tarantino is having, like, a wish fulfillment fantasy of himself kill another fantasy version of himself.
I think I would consider it less weird if there wasn't the later scene with Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
And how that scene ends. And that very pointed discussion of history, I will say.
Am I going to have to be the one that says that that's a really good scene?
Oh, no. Here's the thing.
Don't
It's
leave
like
me
the best
hanging.
scene in the movie.
Don't leave me fucking hanging. I'm the only white idiot on this podcast.
It is maybe the best scene of the movie.
It's arguably the best thing Tarantino's ever written.
I don't know about that.
You could make that argument, I think. I'm not sure I'd agree, but you could make that argument. And I don't mean just the just the fucking Dennis Hopper part of it all. Like that whole scene, like from beginning to end, from Walken's introduction.
It's terrific, and that's the only fucking scene he's in the movie.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
And he's so good in it. But also, I gotta say, like, it does also feel like an argument you would have on. This is why, like, our brains are like poisoned differently than Tarantino's. Because, like, it feels like back in the day we would have been on a forum somewhere and there'd be, like, the political debate forum and someone would say, there's no reason a white person should ever say the N-word. And then someone would come back with, yeah, but what if I was taken hostage by the consigliere of Blue Boyle and to save my son and his new fiance, I had to say the N-word. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but I don't see them on forums. I just see them on Twitter every day.
I guess it's on Twitter. I don't.
Yeah, everyone's like, okay, but what if I had to be saying the most racist, horrible shit to save someone I love?
It's like
would it be okay then? And it's just like
Chris Rock.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Chris Rock has that bit, which I think was almost like a weird, like, mea culpa for his bit, where he said there's a difference between black people and, you know, and he did a bit where he's like, there's only one way a white person can say the N-word, and he gives, like, this insanely, oddly specific thing that happens to you, and it's like, if that insanely, oddly specific thing happens, you can say the N-word for the next 3 weeks. And it's like a bit like about the absurdity of it, but it also has the exact same vibe of the Sicilian scene in this movie.
Yeah, it is a very loud scene, and to be clear, like, he is trying to get the guys to kill him, so he doesn't.
Yeah, that's
have
the whole
to
point
give
of
up
the
his
scene.
son. Yeah.
So he is saying the N-word for heroic reasons. Like, come on.
Never say that ever again.
But that's what I didn't write it. Tarantino wrote it.
I know, but just hearing it's phrased that way. Oh my god.
I'm just saying that's what's happening here. We can't hide it.
No, I know.
We got to be honest about what is. That's what makes the movie fascinating for me. Like, I think it's a really well done movie, but it's also this weird look into like it's the fucking like missing link for Tarantino. Like, it explains all of his other movies without him even realizing it.
I guess it's fucking ridiculous. I'm like going to bat for this movie, and I'm like embarrassed too.
I know it is embarrassing, but we have to own it. You know,
I know.
We have to own our embarrassment. I'm the one who should be embarrassed because, like I'm saying, I'm the only white idiot here. Like,
Yeah.
So, white people always defend shit they shouldn't defend.
Yeah.
Like America.
Yeah. This is a pretty good movie about America.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm trying to pull something out of it. I think it is. I mean, the cops shoot first at the end.
Hey, the Hans Zimmer score in this movie, that like little like piano music, they play that in Finding Forrester.
They play that a lot because it is a great little musical riff. The little doom 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 doom.
It's weird when you think about where it comes from, though.
Oh, it is incredibly bizarre.
Yes.
The film's score is a theme based on Gassenhauer from Karl Orff's Schillerwerk. Words
that
I do
one.
Not... Yeah.
Sorry.
No, words I do not fully comprehend. I don't know what none of that means. I'm sorry. Music is not my forte. Karl Orff was a German composer and music educator. Okay, so Zimmer probably worked with him at some point or like studied under him.
So, in the Sicilian scene, there's one guy there who has no lines, and that guy is Mr. James Gandolfini.
Mm-hmm.
Who
gets to be in two scenes.
He gets a few. Arguably, he's in two locations, I guess. But I guess No, you know what? He gets he's in the Sicilian scene with no lines. He gets to meet Floyd, which is a weird running gag in the movie. Of just people showing up and Floyd being too stoned to realize how fucked up things are. And then he meets Patricia Arquette, and then he has the torture scene with Patricia Arquette, basically. Which is a wild sequence.
Yeah.
But goddamn, Gandolfini was so fucking good.
I know.
I miss him so much.
Yeah.
And I think this is the beginning of him kind of becoming a Tony Scott regular.
Mm-hmm.
Because he pops up a few more times after this.
Yeah. I think the last one he pops up in is
Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, that one. Thank you.
Yeah, where he plays what's his fuck?
The mayor of New York.
Yeah, but he's playing Giuliani.
Yeah. No, oh my god, I love that Pelham remake so much.
He's also really good in Crimson Tide.
Oh my god, Crimson Tide. Was Crimson Tide a failed blockbuster?
Well, no, but we talked about maybe we're gonna do submarine movies.
Oh yeah, just talk about how fucking good Crimson Tide is.
Yeah, just and also to bring it back to Star Trek, we were gonna cheat and put Wrath of Khan on there.
Yeah, Wrath of Khan, and then of course The Hunt for Red October.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could do like Ice Station Zebra, and you know.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's options. There's
a lot of submarine movies we could do.
Oh, did you know James Gandolfini and Brad Pitt actually reunite like a little under a decade later?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Gore Verbinski's dark comedy adventure crime film, The Mexican. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that movie. It's not
that movie.
Great, but I like that movie.
I think it's my least favorite Verbinski.
I would probably agree, even as someone who's like not like the Gore Verbinski like guy, you know.
Actually, no. Sorry, Lone Ranger Defender.
Oh
yeah, not for that last half hour. That last half hour, I agree, terrific.
You know who's the biggest Lone Ranger defender?
Tarantino.
It's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, you know what? Tarantino should just fucking produce something for Gore Verbinski.
I don't know. They always when he was like with the Weinsteins, they kept trying to do the Quentin Tarantino Presents thing, and it never really worked.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know if that could have been the Weinstein, because the Weinsteins, for all the fucking credit they got as like producers, they did a bad job at it.
Yeah.
Like, they just kind of happened to find like really talented people.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't really great producers.
Yeah, I wonder why that was. Like, they kind of like, they were in Tarantino and Rodriguez's corner, but those guys kind of made their names on their own terms.
Yeah, they cornered the market on like those guys, right? Like,
yeah,
that's what they did, and then they figured out how to win Oscars. That's really what it came down to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was something. There's a good video on YouTube. Oh god, what's this channel? I really like this channel. Now I can't remember the name. It's this channel that just basically covers, like actresses that have won Oscars, right? And like the weird politics that go into them. I can't remember. It's a really good. Let me look it up real quick. Sorry. Be Kind Rewind is the name of the channel. And she did a whole video on Weinstein and the Oscars, and she points out that like Weinstein's fall kind of happens to coincide with a period where he isn't doing as well in the award seasons. And she speculates about how that might have influenced like why the media felt more comfortable to go after him. And why actors were more willing to come out. And yeah. Interesting channel. It's a weird little channel. Like, that's like their biggest video, but like they just do videos where it's like, yeah, here's how this actress kind of won, like why she stood out that year and why the Oscars maybe picked her.
Alright, really, I gotta check that out.
It's interesting, yeah. I like that channel. Don't know anything else about them, so I don't know if they've like been on, like had their ass out on Twitter like other people, but
yeah, I know. Like, you look at their most recent video, and it's probably like, "Oh, you know, vaccines."
No. Well, thankfully they're not. They're not that. But I just worry it's going to be like, you know, like there seems to be a weird arc with video essayists. Mm-hmm. So I just hope they haven't had that arc.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I'm like H-Bomber guy. Just upload once a year, whatever. Don't say anything. Don't do anything, please.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to bring up something, and now I just totally fucking lost it. God damn it. Well, here, I don't know what to pivot to. So, Roger Ebert gave the film a positive review, highlighting the energy and style of the movie are exhilarating, and that the supporting cast is superb. A roll call of actors at home in these violent waters. Christopher Walken, Dennis Hopper, and Brad Pitt, for example. Oh, yeah, Brad Pitt's in this.
Oh, yeah, he's Floyd.
Yeah. What a fantastic character.
Yes.
That is, like, the perfect minor character.
100%, yeah. And it's funny to see Brad Pitt in that. Like, we're like, oh, they don't know he's going to be the fucking biggest star in the world at one point.
I know. It's so good.
They're betting their money on Christian Slater.
Oh. Well,
this movie did not do very well. So
no, $12.6 million on a $12.5 million budget.
Yeah, you know.
Doesn't even break even in old school terms. Which is like, I don't know, but people also have to remember. So this was written before Reservoir Dogs, but it comes out after. Tarantino's making his name already. When did Pulp Fiction come out? That was 94, right?
94, right, yeah.
Okay.
And also, I gotta say, just not to call Ebert out, Ebert gave Reservoir Dogs a bad review. And once the Pulp Fiction thing kind of takes over, both him and Siskel gave Reservoir Dogs a bad review. You can feel them, like, trying to, like, justify themselves a little bit. Like, I'm trying to be like, well, you know, maybe we would just,
yeah.
So, because Ebert goes on to be, like, one of the biggest Tarantino defenders.
Yeah.
Like, I think he gave Grindhouse a bad review, but that might be it. Of the movies that came out when Ebert was still alive.
I could see that one being the one that he doesn't click with.
But, like, it says a lot he clicked with Kill Bill. Like...
Yeah.
Which is kind of impressive. But because Kill Bill is the moment where, like, I think a lot of people turn on Tarantino, because that's when he just becomes like, I'm just going to do genre films, and everyone's like, Jackie Brown, he's growing up, and then it's like, no.
I think Django is, at least for like the more recent turns. You know, I think that's a big one. Django and Hateful Eight definitely, which is like, you know, a repulsive film, but intentionally so.
Yeah, I like both. I'm sorry, I like Tarantino movies. Like, I can't help it.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to someone like I had just like met, and they were like, "So what do you think about Tarantino? Is he overrated or is he that good?" I'm like, "No, he's kind of that good." Like, he's like, to be honest, he's not even like a top 10 filmmaker for me. Probably not even like the next ring after that. But no, I think he's a terrific filmmaker. Like, I don't know what you want from me. I'm only human. I enjoy his work.
Yeah.
I'd put Tony Scott like in my personal canon of filmmakers. Tony Scott is like much higher for me. Like that's like a top 10 situation right there.
I would agree. I like Tony more. Like, but I think that's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And frankly, I would have liked to seen Tony Scott do another Tarantino script. I don't know what. Yeah. I don't know if Tarantino has any stuff like in the closet.
He kind of did. Because Tarantino ghost wrote Crimson Tide.
Yeah, but didn't he just do like dialogue passes?
I think he did dialogue passes, but it's like you can feel the Tarantino in that movie.
There's a fucking Silver Surfer debate.
There's a Silver Surfer debate. There's Star Trek. There is Star Trek references, and there's a whole monologue in that movie about how there's a horse that when it's old, it's white. No. When it's born, it's black.
It leads to the last line of dialogue in the movie.
I know. Like, so, what the fuck? It's a Tarantino script. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you know what? You're right. But Tony Scott was also, like, he worked with basically living legends now who were just coming up at the time, like Shane Black, you know, with The Last Boy Scout, Quentin Tarantino with this, and yes, Crimson Tide.
It's so weird with Tony Scott where it feels like he's always just a little too early. Like he like all and his movies were most of his movies were successful. They just were never like the monster hits they maybe could have been.
Yeah,
and it just feels like he's like a step ahead of people in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I'm wondering why that is, because both him, Ridley Scott, even Michael Bay, they get their start in advertisement. Oh, David Fincher, of course, too. And like maybe they just, because all these people have like massive careers, obviously now. So maybe they just know how to like deal with both the business aspect and like the artistic aspect.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds very silly with Michael Bay, but let me explain a little more.
Well, I'll say this.
At least in terms of like just like presenting style with like a story that can like draw people in immediately.
I would say as much as Tony Scott is a like stylist director, he's definitely, of the group you just mentioned, I think he is the most script is king type directors of that group. Because he just has like the scripts that he directs just fucking work, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they would be good movies even if they weren't directed by Tony Scott. Now they become great movies when they're directed by Tony Scott.
Yeah.
But
well, wait, would True Romance have been a good movie if it weren't directed by Tony Scott?
This is the one. I think this is the one. But this is him being a little early on the Tarantino thing.
Yes, like, it is.
This movie comes out a year later, it would have been a big hit.
Another one I'm not so sure about is Domino.
Domino, yes, is the other one, which is just him betting on the wrong horse.
Yeah, but Domino also fucking rules. Yeah, so who cares?
I was like, Richard Kelly is the future, and then no. But
no, Richard Kelly is the future in another universe. Because he's one of those people that predicted where America was kind of headed.
Yeah,
in a way.
You know, he got it.
It's like him and Verhoeven, although Verhoeven probably has more like structure to his like thesis.
Yeah, Kelly's like a raw nerve. Like,
yeah, Richard Kelly's like, I don't care about structure. Here is how America dies, and it's just like a violent death spasm.
Anyway, True Romance.
True Romance is not a violent death spasm.
We got to shout out.
Many people die.
We got to shout out some more of the cast because it is like one of the most stacked casts in Hollywood history.
Oh yeah.
Michael Rappaport.
Yeah,
my boy Michael Rappaport
as Dick Ritchie.
As might have some of the funniest moments in this movie.
Yes.
His auditioning for T.J. Hooker might be one of the funniest things ever committed to film. Where it's like, I'm driving. Like, he's got the hand. Don't just stand there. Get him. Shoot him. What's that woman's name? I'm
looking up the name right now.
Conchata Ferrell.
She was
probably
terrific.
Most well known as the actress from 2.5 Men. I think most people would know her from that. She's recently passed. Mm-hmm. She is one of a fantastic character actor. She's been on the show before in the Mr. Deeds episode.
Yeah.
She gets that scene with the emails that's very funny.
She was also in Krampus.
Which terrific
I love. Yeah.
She pops up in a lot of stuff, and she was great, and she is hysterical in that scene too. As just this casting agent.
Yeah.
I was just like, he's like, where the fuck did he come from? And she's like, I don't know. He just appeared like magic.
That's how fucking casting directors talk. It's so
it's
like,
great.
and I get it. You're doing it all day. I'm not. There's no reason to get upset about that, but it is just very funny. It's like, as an actor, you probably have to be pouring your heart out into shit. You got to convince these people you're the one for the job. You're the person for the job. This is it. This is your make or break moment. He just appeared out of nowhere like magic. So depressing.
It's great though.
Oh no, it's terrific. Saul Rubinek, who plays Joel Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Joel Silver.
You can forget about acting for the next 30 years. Your career is over. Take your SAG card and burn it. He goes insane in that scene.
He does. I love Saul Rubinek.
Oh no, I did too. He's great.
Yeah.
He's got like multiple speeds in this movie of like when he's like being flattered by Kristen Slater. He's like, no, come on, let's just all relax. Like, then when he's on the phone, he's like, I'll fucking have you killed. Like, another guy just pops up and is just great. When was the last? I try to think of the last thing I saw him. Oh yeah, he's in the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Buster Scruggs. He was in the Jordan Peele produced show Hunters with Al Pacino.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Was it worth checking out? I heard
right.
mixed things. Yeah,
it's mostly just kind of like, it's a little like cutesy, but it's fine for what it is.
Okay. He's in a couple episodes of Mrs. Maisel and Schitt's Creek.
He's Herb Klein in Nixon.
Yeah.
He pops up. He's Henry Kissinger in Dick. So,
I haven't seen Dick, so.
Interesting movie.
Okay, worth checking out.
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's great, but he just fucking just goes wild in that one. I guess his character appears in the novelizations that are connected to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
So that's like the Tarantino like shared universe thing.
Oh yeah. I think people get like annoyed at that stuff now, but Tarantino was just having fun with it. You know, there was no like grand overarching plan to marry these universes. Just,
and there's like deliberate contradictions that don't add up. Like it's like stuff that doesn't make, which is that's what shared universes used to be.
Yeah, and like I think we all kind of forget now that it was also just like fun.
Yeah, it was just like I'm just referencing my other thing, you know.
Yeah, and I think like one of the strengths of Tarantino as a writer too is just that very often, if you're on his wavelength at least, which most people are, it's very entertaining to hear people talk, and the setups and the punchlines are very engaging, and it's enticing to an audience to like connect stuff when it's not important, you know.
Yeah,
it's just like the gravestone.
The mistake people make is when they find like then they try to be like, here's the great unified theory of all of it, you know?
Yeah, like the fucking Pixar theory, which was fun on Tumblr for like a week, and now people still are like, no, it's all connected, and it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah, it's just a cute little thing. Like,
yeah, like it's okay to just like have fun. It's not that important.
Yeah,
that's not what the movie's about. That's not what movies are about.
Yes. Got Bronson Pinchot, who most people probably don't know him these days, I'm guessing.
No, I don't think so.
But was massive back in the day on a show called Perfect Strangers, which is just ending as this movie's coming out, which is kind of wild to think about. All over the 80s in Beverly Hills Cop. He's a wild actor. Gives maybe the performance of his career in this movie as Elliot Blitzer. Which sounds a lot like Elliot Spitzer.
Oh, he also gets a remarkable scene in a car.
Oh, yeah.
When they're he's driving over to bring the cocaine sample. That's pretty funny.
That's good. That's some good stuff. We get Chris Penn and Tom Sizemore.
Oh yeah, the boys.
And
well, maybe not Tom Sizemore anymore. Forgot about that.
What's the one where he like comes in and Chris Penn, he's like, me and Nicholson, and then Sizemore's like, no, Nicholson and I. Like, when they're about to, he's like, what the fuck? Who cares? They think they've uncovered like the big drug deal that's gonna crack the case. It does have one of those endings that I just fucking love, as like a peck and paw almost ending of just.
Oh my god, it so is. It totally fucking is.
I think The Getaway ends very similar, if I remember correctly, of just like the different groups kind of meeting and suddenly they're like all got guns pointed at each other.
Yeah.
And then it's just violence and everyone dies.
Mm-hmm. Now, Peck and Paw is not the only influence on the film.
Really?
Yes. This may come as a shock to you. But early on in the film, when Alabama and Clarence are watching TV and Clarence goes to the bathroom to talk to Elvis, as he does.
Elvis played by Val Kilmer.
Elvis played by Val Kilmer,
who does
of course.
A great job, by the way.
Yes. Yes. Do you know what movie's playing on the TV screen? It's a Hong Kong action movie. It is John Woo's Better Tomorrow 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The only movie on the planet where everyone who watches it is like, it's not that bad. It's actually pretty awesome. And then everyone who worked in it was like, I never want to hear about it ever again.
Why is that? I don't know anything about it. Was it just like a nightmare?
From my understanding, it just had like a lot of like production problems creatively. Fucking Chow Yun-fat dies in the first movie. They bring him back by introducing a twin brother in the sequel. You know, like but it also has one of the greatest shootouts in movie history, which you see part of in True Romance on the television screen. I think Tony Scott was the closest thing we had to like an American John Woo.
And you can definitely see him trying to bring the John Woo in here a lot.
Yeah.
Like, especially with that last shootout.
Oh, yeah. I mean, fucking The Last Boy Scout, when Joe Hallenbeck's, like, running with the two pistols, like, there's, like, doves and shit. And it's like, you know, it's very clear, like, he's going for that. And I think Sam Raimi kind of taps into something similar sometimes. It's different energy, but, like, similar, like, visual, like, panache, I guess.
Yes.
And then right now, maybe I don't fully like think that this is like a 1-to-1 comparison, but I've talked to a friend who suggested Michael Bay has a similar energy, and I see that too. Although Woo, Scott, and Sam Raimi are much more controlled.
Yes.
Bay is just kind of like a shotgun blast.
Yeah.
Or like a minigun made out of shotguns.
Yeah, Bay is I can watch the clips on YouTube instead of the movie and get the same basic vibe.
You'll like Ambulance.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. I will eventually. Is it streaming yet?
I think so. Yes, because that was also a bomb.
Mm-hmm. Oh, all right. I guess we can do it.
Yeah.
Which makes it like the one Michael Bay film we can do, I think.
No, we did The Island last time.
Oh, yes, we did The Island. I forgot. That's how forgettable the fucking Island is.
I like The Island.
Did you?
Yeah.
Ah.
It's just like, you know, not great.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
We can do Pearl Harbor for failed awards.
We don't have to.
Pretty much the one movie like everyone hates.
Yeah, we don't have to do that.
We totally could though. We totally could.
But should we? We were worried about whether or not we could. We never stopped to think about whether or not we should.
Yes.
Is Jurassic World Dominion a failed blockbuster?
It's probably made like $500 million already. What's it made?
Yeah, it crossed 500 million at the international box office.
Hey, it made 877 million. Thanks, Diego. Thanks for letting me know about that now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Thanks for putting that in my head. I was having a good day talking about movies. Now I have to know that about Jurassic World Dominion.
Well, look, the fact that it hasn't broken $1 billion already after being out for like a month, that's pretty telling for a Jurassic World movie.
Yeah, everyone's happy with it.
I don't know.
It's not going to affect Colin Trevorrow at all.
Oh, no, him no, but like, I don't see them doing a Jurassic World movie for like 10 years.
Yeah, but they probably weren't going to anyway.
I don't know.
They're probably going to do like, here's our streaming Jurassic Park shit. Eat it up, you fucking pigs.
Oh, yeah, on Peacock?
Yeah. That'll be the move. That'll be the move. That's just what's going to happen.
We'll see. I don't care to see a streaming Jurassic World movie. Because it's just going to be Westworld.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked that first season, but I got everything from it.
How did people pay to see Jurassic World Dominion?
I don't know.
How?
It's like, again, I haven't seen either movie, so maybe I end up liking them. But it's similar to like what's happening with the new Thor, where normal people, like in the real world, are telling me like, oh yeah, I'm going to go watch this. Do you want to come? And I'm like, no, thank you. I think it looks not good. And then they come out and talk to me afterwards, and they're like, yeah, it was really bad. So, I don't know, maybe the tide's turning slowly. Slowly. What people really need is to watch True Romance.
Maybe that's why I just double down on these movies. Like I probably should leave a movie like True Romance in the past, but it's like there's nothing even close to it on the big screen these days.
Yeah.
And you know,
like, cause even like just like scenes in like a motel, Tony Scott's like, yeah, let's put like a Dutch angle right here.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's just like, and then he'll fill the rooms with like smoke so the light comes in like sharper and shit.
Hey, do we want to talk about how the ending is a little different in the theatrical cut?
Well, Christian Slater survives in both.
So Christian Slater survives in both, but he gets shot in the eye by Chris Penn's character.
Yes, and in the theatrical cut, Patricia Arquette kills him, right?
Yes, in the director's cut.
The director's cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the theatrical cut, it's one of the Sicilians that they just used some other footage of him, and just made it look like he shot him.
Yeah, I like her killing the cop instead.
Yeah, it's weird. That feels like a real studio note of like if she kills someone, she won't be likable anymore. Which is really funny when you think about Tony Soprano being in this movie.
And just the fact that this entire movie happens.
Yeah.
Like, it's a pure American fantasy. I think that's what I was trying to get at earlier.
Yes, I would agree.
The ultimate American fantasy is to leave America and live with your family on a beach.
It kind of is. I mean, I would say that's the ultimate boomer fantasy.
There you go. Yeah, it's a very time and place. And so, like, the fact that, like, I know a lot of people that tried to watch this recently for the first time, and you were joking about it before we recorded, that, like, they don't really like it. But they'll like other Tony Scott stuff. Mm-hmm. And I kind of get it with this one. We don't really need a movie like this, I guess.
Sure.
You know?
I like it. It's good.
I love it. I have said before it's my favorite Tony Scott movie. I don't know if I feel the same, but I kind of feel it when I'm watching it, you know?
Yeah, it's Last Boy Scout to me still.
Yeah.
But
let me take a look again, because it's tough. It's Last Boy Scout, Domino, Man on Fire, Deja Vu.
Got some good movies.
Crimson Tide. Yeah, it's fucking tough. It's real tough. I want to meet someone who says their favorite Tony Scott movie is Revenge, a movie I do like. I've just never heard anyone say that. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty fucking wild
Does
movie.
anyone actually like Top Gun?
People like Top Gun.
I haven't met him.
I think some people are like kind of irony poisoned, and then other people are just so taken with the craft, which I am too. It is a wonderfully directed movie about nothing, basically. Mm-hmm. But like, I can watch Top Gun and not like be angry. Like, I don't think it's like awful. I don't hate it. It's just like, I'm not watching it for the movie experience. I'm watching it for the Tony Scott experience. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it is a gorgeous looking movie, and there's a reason why like it was such a hit. So like, when I heard the new Top Gun was coming out and it was actually good, I was like, okay, is it like a good movie, or is Joseph Kosinski just kind of like wilding out with a big budget and practical effects? Because I'm fine with the latter too. I haven't seen it yet at this point.
It's not good.
Okay, you're the one person I've heard say that though.
Everyone's wrong. That movie's a bad movie.
Okay.
It was boring, but the action was very good.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's all I'm there for. Now, when they go to the beach to play sports, are they playing with the boys, or is there a different song?
They don't play that. And also, there's a woman now, so it's not gay.
Oh, just this a singular woman?
Yes.
So really?
That makes it not gay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's one woman that's on the Top Gun group or whatever.
Okay. It's woke Hollywood.
Yeah. I'm surprised no one's like freaked out about that, but maybe it's because she has such little personality that no one could really object.
Oh. Yeah, but Jennifer Connelly's in it, so I gotta watch it at some point.
Everyone has to bow down to Maverick in it, basically. It's like, you're not as good as Maverick, non-Mavericks.
I haven't seen it, but my favorite take is that, no, it's not U.S. propaganda. It's Tom Cruise propaganda.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
And you know what? Sure.
He takes his shirt off and we're supposed to believe that's him at his age, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that. Oh my god. And then there's that fucking great Seinfeld one in real life where it's like, it's George's dad, and he's like, George, your mother and I went to go watch the new Elvis movie. We walked to the wrong theater. We saw Top Gun. Long story short, your mother and I are joining the Church of Scientology.
Modern day Seinfeld jokes shouldn't work as much as they do, but they do.
I know.
When people get it right, they get it right. Like the Towers. Anyway,
whoa.
True Romance.
True Romance.
Great movie.
Yeah, I don't know how much else we have to say about it. I mean, yeah, you should all watch it. If you hate it, look, too bad. Sorry. I hope I convinced you to watch it, because I think most people will actually like it. The Wikipedia has says that the critics praise the dialogue, characters, and offbeat style, earning it a cult following.
Yeah, it did do well among critics, which is kind of wild, but maybe all critics are just fucked up.
Maybe critics go through like different eras of problems though, and like not just movie critics, because movies are only like 120 years old. They're a young art form.
Watch Siskel and Ebert, and like you can see like what they get held up on, like in different eras. You know. Yeah. Like there are times when they're like really focused on certain. There seems to be like a year where all they do is complain about. They're like, the reason this movie's not working is because the script wasn't finished. Like, and that seems to be their big beef. And the next time it's like, they're too focused on these scripts and not anything on the screen. Like. Yeah.
And it's like, it's funny because it's like individually those problems do exist, have existed, and continue to exist, right? And then I think of someone like Guillermo del Toro, who is like not just a great like filmmaker, but a great like cultural purveyor, I guess. And he noted as far back as I listened to his interviews for like inspiration. He's such a brilliant like artist, right? He was talking during the Crimson Peak run of interviews, like that right now people seem to be very focused on like structure and story and script. And it's not that those things are not important, but hey, there's other stuff happening on the screen that you're watching. Pay attention to that too. You know, like it's if I believe the Action for Everyone crew, specifically my boy Liam O'Donnell, coined the phrase script watchers. I think that is a very accurate insult. At least for
Del Toro
dismissing
must love
some critics.
This movie.
Oh, he's a huge Tony Scott fan, isn't
But this
he?
feels like the one he would really love. Because he loves that, like, modern-day fairy tale bullshit.
Oh, yeah. I would kill to talk about Tony Scott with Tarantino.
No, not with
Del
Tarantino.
Toro. Not with Tarantino. No. I remember one of the few clips I've seen of Tarantino talking about True Romance was right after Tony Scott passed, and he was saying like the brilliance of Tony Scott was like envisioning this in a way no one else could and making it like stylistically invigorating, blah blah blah. But
Tarantino loves Tony Scott. Like
yeah.
famously, so.
But then he mentioned specifically the scene with Drexel, where he's like, oh yeah, in the script it was like, oh yeah, it's a dimly lit room with some neon signs and a lamp in the middle of the table. And it was Tony Scott that came up with like, Tony Scott and the production designers, obviously, who came up with like the low-hanging lampshade hanging over the table. And it's just like, what purpose does that serve in reality? And it's like, it doesn't matter. Because it looks so fucking awesome. Also, because it just adds like, it adds something to the scene that's essential for like the mood and atmosphere. It's not like don't worry about whether or not someone actually has that in their home. Now, if you do actually have something like that in your home, I'm gonna think you're either super fucking cool or super fucking weird, and I'm gonna get out of there immediately. So, yeah, is this a 5-star movie, Matt?
For me, it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
I do get why it's not for other people, though.
Yeah. I won't call you a coward, but.
No, we are the cowards in this instant. Yes, but
because you defended the Sicilian scene.
If you stand by Tarantino, you're kind of a coward, and we are. So
that's what it is. Matt, thank you for joining me. I have to do the quick little the spin the wheel on what movie is coming out next. Now. This is a very particular instance because I have to add this in after the fact of recording because we're recording this episode out of order with everything else.
No, you can spin it right now.
You sure?
Yeah, just.
Oh look, I'll just release this one after Monkey Bone. How about that?
I thought that was what was going to happen.
It probably was, and I just forgot. But let's see. Okay.
Yeah, we were supposed to do Monkey Bone today, and then some developments happened, so we're delaying Monkey Bone. You're welcome, Dan Doherty.
Yeah. All right. Spinning. Oh! Number 4, Jupiter Ascending.
All right. That is a good one.
All right. This one I know people have mixed feelings on.
Yes.
But also many of those people are cowards. And other people are correct, maybe. Who knows?
At least I have an excuse to watch my new Blu-ray copy of the film.
There you go. With Eddie Redmayne's best performance? Absolutely. What was that?
I was trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to say about Eddie Redmayne, but there kind of isn't.
Nope. Nope, you know I'm right. That's why.
What about those Crimes of Grindelwald?
The Real Crimes.
Or The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Well, here, The Real Crimes.
Or The Danish Girl.
Now that's the real crime.
Yeah.
Also the crimes Johnny Depp. Matt, thank you for joining me. Where can the people find you?
I'm at EmperorOTN1 at twitter.com.
And you can find me at the Diego Crespo. Check out the Waffle Press on Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and Patreon. Where you know what? You might actually get access to the next episodes because we're doing these ahead of time. So you're welcome. Again, Dan Doherty.
Yeah.
Actually, a couple people listened to the early patron episode, so thank you. Also, thank you to new patrons. You'll have been here for a while since I'm thanking you ahead of time on these things.
Your 1 month subscription will be expiring by now, and you'll be leaving because you realized it was a waste of money.
Perhaps, but you know what? Thanks for sticking around anyways, and thank you for sticking around. Thanks for watching, listening. Like and subscribe. If you didn't like this episode, like and subscribe anyways, because you might find something you do like. Again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We have been professionally unprofessional.
My name is Vincent Cocotti. I work as consul for Mr. Blue Boyle, the man your son stole from. Clarence and that girlfriend of his snatched my narcotics, hightailed it out of there.
You got a hell of a lot of cocaine here, man.
You don't know him.
No, you don't know me. Not when it comes to shit like this.
Oh, you got it. All worked out, don't you?
Where's our coke? Where's Clarence? I'm gonna show you what I mean with a little demonstration.
Man, I like this Clarence kid. This fucking guy's crazy.
I think what you did was so romantic.
I want you to know that you can count on me to protect you.
Clarence, I like you. Always have. Always will.